Welcome to What the It's like no strings attached, if by strings you mean car brakes. Let's get a preview of tonight's show from Keith Statenfield in the newsroom. Keith, what do we have in store for tonight's show?
Tonight we have 4 topics. First of all, Romania has decided that witchcraft is a profession, and witches need to pay taxes on their earnings. How long until the first tax collector is turned into a newt? To combat panhandlers, Santa Barbara is spending money to turn their benches 90 degrees. Why don't they just wait for the next big earthquake to do it for them? What happens in Las Vegas doesn't stay in Las Vegas. If you press charges against the whore you hired while you were there, when you get back to your hometown. And lastly, a man in Britain left his sick wife at home to go on vacation across America, to Stonehenge, and even skydiving, all with his silicone doll girlfriend. But it's okay. He knows she's not a real person. Back to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Keith. We'll see you at the end of the show. Let's meet our guest, starting again with the chair farthest from me. It's library worker Jenna Christ. She's cuter than a kitten and a puppy playing with the entrails of a baby mouse. That's so cute, it's disgusting. Next to her, it's former Starbucks and Pete's barista and champion midget cage fighter James Ilg. If penetrating insight was a burning building, I'd enter him with the hose after a half dozen firemen. In the middle chair, it's nurse and member of the comedy troupe Suburban Squirrels, Frankie J. She's so smart, Mensa members brag about being in her. Finally, sitting next to me and probably wishing he was somewhere else, it's salesman extraordinaire Scott Birch. Scott is also aspiring to represent our country in the next Summer Olympics in the demonstration sport of male pole dancing. Best of luck, Scott. You carry the hopes and dreams of America in your thighs. All right. Issue number 1. Should the tax man go for the purse of those who can curse? Whether you prefer Gollum or Smeagol, witches of Romania are now legal. Romania has changed its labor laws to officially recognize witchcraft as a profession, subjecting its population of professional, warty women to taxes. Some witches, who are probably used to avoiding death and taxes, aren't so happy and have threatened to curse the lawmakers for making their profession more legitimate than politics. Romania has also recognized astrologers, embalmers, valets, and driving instructors as having real jobs. No word on therapists, community organizers, or cable access talk show hosts. For more, we turn to the head of the Junior Witches of Romania, Nadia Ceausescu. MC, your comments. That looks like a video of how all my dates go. But anyway, Jenna, I'm going to start with you. Did Romania do the right thing?
Yeah, if it's a profession and they're making money, they're low on cash, so they need to look at all their revenue sources. And I guess these people were being paid under the table. It's kind of odd what was included: driving instructors, valets, and I would group them with the same group as astrologers. So I don't think it's a... Well, they're providing a service, so yeah.
It's probably 20. It's been 20 years since the end of communism. They're still getting used to this free market thing, probably. Mm-hmm. James, Romania do the right thing?
I'm so happy about that. Now I finally have the right to return my love potion that just didn't work, except on my cat for some reason. I don't know.
You tried your love potion on your cat?
No, she got into it one day. It's bad scene.
So that's a story you told the ASPCA.
Yeah. Anyway, well, then should politicians be worried about the curses being cast on them?
Yeah, but not from the witches. Probably from their constituents.
All right. Well, Frankie, yes. Should the politicians be worried about the witches' curse?
Well, I'm not really too sure that pepper and yeast is really going to be effective, but perhaps as a group effort, perhaps. I think I would be more inclined to wonder who are these embalmers that have been working under the table all these years? I mean, can you imagine dragging your corpse down to the corner guy who's your embalmer? You're not holding up your end of the garden. Push, you pull. I push, you pull. Bring the corpse down here. Well, my God.
What else is Romania famous for?
No,
No, not gymnasts. The other one.
The
Vampire?
Dracula.
Yeah. Maybe they don't embalm. Maybe they just
Maybe
cremate.
they just
Suck their blood.
They just suck their blood and turn into vampires that have been populating the earth for years.
Yeah, right. So maybe that's the reason. Hey, Scott, if witches are being taxed, how do you think they're taxed?
I don't know, what are they taxed by, cauldrons? Like, they're going to charge you 2 cauldrons this year in taxes? I mean, look, this whole thing, they shouldn't get taxed. It's not legitimate. Witches, what the hell? Some witch told me one day I was going to be, overweight and bald, but, okay, well, maybe, yeah. Okay, maybe it should be taxed. Okay, never mind. Okay. I stay corrected.
Well, do you think you can make? There's a business opportunity for you or anybody else in the room. Like selling tax software to witches. What would you call it? Throw that out to the table. Not TurboTax. What is it? Broom tax.
I don't know. Super nerd tax.
Potion tax.
Their potion tax. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. How would witches
Spell
calculate
tax.
their income?
Ruin. I don't know.
Tax of ruin. Oh, that's a good one.
this could be. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah. Do you think witches keep books? Not spell books, but like real books.
Here's the thing. What are they going to write with? I mean, their stubby little mole-ridden hand. You know what I mean? So they get little moles and hairs coming out of random
I have new.
places. Every witch you've ever seen is like.
Right.
I mean, every witch you've ever seen, like witch that looks like legit, is ugly as all get out. They look like little moles. They look like little plants.
Samantha Stevens
Who?
from Bewitched.
From Bewitched.
yeah.
Oh,
New
yeah.
age.
Yeah, but she's like wiggling her nose and like stuff. Come on, she's with Dick York and Dick Sargent. And
Yeah, one of them turned out to be gay, right? The other one died of something, right? But
maybe she moved the nose
Cirrhosis.
now. Maybe she moved the nose.
yeah, that's right.
Had one guy bat for the other team, and then
Yeah. How would you do the accounting for like a cauldron? Like for equipment, you have to account a certain way for depreciation.
It would be
Like how many
by
9-year-olds it can hold.
or how many
Like,
liters.
I have a cauldron that can hold like 16 9-year-olds is going to be worth more than like a cauldron that can
What's
hold
it
like
made
5
out of?
3-year-olds. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want the copper cauldron or do you want the lead cauldron?
I always thought it was cast iron, but because the thing
Yeah,
is,
lead melts. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
you
failed
depreciate.
witch
Well,
school.
I'm
She's obviously not a witch.
Not a witch.
Well, unless we throw
Well,
in the
she's
water.
too beautiful. She can't be a witch.
We could throw in the water and see if she floats.
Well, no, she might melt. No, she might
Is
melt.
that how you graduate from witchcraft school? You throw them in the water?
You throw 'em in
No,
the
but if
water.
they melt, remember the I'm melting, yeah, with the bucket of water.
Now, Scott, witches have been known to be practiced casting their spells on you. So let me ask you: are they better or worse for you than politicians?
I would say that they're probably better for me because I don't know, politicians. I don't really pay attention to because they use a bunch of words that's way over my head. And I can't understand it. But witches can throw some babble at me, and I'll be like, okay.
Does it work?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to issue.
I am Gretel.
You are Gretel. All
I'm
right.
Gretel.
Not Hansel.
I'm Gretel.
Okay. Issue number 2. If the benches are turned, will the panhandlers be spurned? The city of Santa Barbara is hoping to deter the homeless from panhandling by turning its public benches 90 degrees so the benches face each other rather than pedestrians using the public sidewalks or the storefronts. The theory is that with their backs to half as many people, the homeless won't make enough money panhandling to make it worth their while. Yeah, that'll work. To deter long-term stays, city workers will also remove the backs from several benches on a 2-block stretch of the city's most vibrant commercial thoroughfare, which I believe is called Meth Alley. But anyways, if it gets worse, they may do this. His name is Taylor. He's sleeping on my couch. Helps me pay the rent. All right, James, I'm going to go with you for the first question on this. Do you think this will work?
I really hope so, and the reason why is because I have this fantasy of how it would work. You'd have the 2 opposing benches, you have the 2 homeless people sitting across from each other, and they'd panhandle each other all day long and leave the rest of us alone.
Okay. Well, I'll ask you, Frankie. Do you think this is cruel and insensitive of what Santa Barbara is doing?
That's not cruel and insensitive. The problem with Santa Barbara is it's just in the wrong area. It's on the homeless migration pattern. So if we changed what's offered in Santa Barbara and made it more like what we're doing to other species, perhaps the homeless wouldn't go to Santa Barbara at all. Or we could make them make it a job so that now they are legally have a job title, homeless, just like the Romanians did with the witches.
You mean like a professional panhandler?
Absolutely. Oh, okay. And then we would just tax their earnings.
Can you really treat homeless people like endangered species? Because I don't think they're that endangered.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe it's worth a try if Santa Barbara's so distraught over it.
Do they migrate?
I like the migratory aspect of it. That means that we can maybe like geese, leave breadcrumbs along down to the border.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, all right, Scott, what do you think?
Well, I mean, let's face it. Do you think the guy who wears underpants as a hat, he's ready for a job? What responsibilities does he have except I'm going to migrate? Really?
Hey, wait a minute. What about that guy who had the golden voice? He's doing voiceovers now.
Who?
Remember about a couple weeks ago, there was a homeless man who had a really golden voice, and they gave him all these jobs doing voiceovers in Ohio?
Well, you know what it is? I don't watch really the whole kid shows you do to try and lure unsuspecting victims, but I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe
I'm babysitting.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you could have
Taylor on
you could have a homeless American Idol, who has some secret talent we can discover for a job. You know what I mean? Like a homeless American Idol, and then you could get someone out there, make fun of them, get Donald Trump to make fun of them. Oh yeah, you got no skills. You wear underpants.
Or Simon Cowell.
No, Simon Cowell. He's British. What does he know about getting a job?
That's the most awful panhandle I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could do that. Or no, but you could have you could say, hey, homeless guy, we're going to give you a job for $100,000 a year for 2 years. What marketable skill do you have? I bet you would get all kinds of great TV out of that.
Yeah, I can see it now. It's I haven't bathed in 6 months. Well, I haven't bathed in 7.
All right. I'm going to throw this to the table. Do you think there's a better way to address this problem than just turning the benches?
Oh, yeah.
It's $50,000 in redevelopment funds, and they're spending it on turning benches around.
Make the homeless people turn their own benches around.
Yeah.
You get on an end.
Well, they have to spend the money somewhere. But hey, Scott, homeless people actually give you money. So would you go down to the city of Santa Barbara and help them out, or are you just too busy up here in the Bay Area?
Oh, I got all I can handle up here, bro. I got all I can handle. I got a big metropolitan area. Santa Barbara's kind of small. A lot of people who are they're a little hoity-toity down there. So I would just stay up here where the common folk are.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Up next, Jenna Christ is gainfully employed and tells us how to remain gainfully employed during our tough economic times after the next break. All right, we're back from our break. Issue 3. He asked for a happy ending, and now he has a lawsuit pending. Hubert Blackman is suing Las Vegas Exclusive Personals, claiming he arranged for one of their strippers to come to his room and dance for him. He claims he paid for a lap dance for $155 and a sex act for another $120, but that the working girl didn't stay for the promised hour and left after half an hour. One of the very few occasions where a woman finishes before a man. Am I right? Anyways, he is suing for a refund of $275 plus an additional $1.8 million for the emotional distress of the Las Vegas PD telling him that he could be arrested for prostitution. I think we have footage of the officer's reaction to his call here. Yeah, I think that was my reaction, too. All right, let's see. I'm going to start with you, Frankie. You think this is a valid lawsuit?
Are you kidding me? For one thing, the guy was drunk. So any stripper worth her salt, trying to get a drunk guy up, come on, you guys, you know what that's like.
Frankie, how did you know he was drunk?
It
says so in the article. You got to read these things.
Besides, any guy probably got it up like this, and then just like a shrimp went,
Is it Macbeth where it says alcohol created the desire but impedes the performance, or is that
something like
Hamlet?
that? Wouldn't you think? Really?
I'm asking the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
James, valid lawsuit or not?
Oh, wow, valid lawsuit. Well, I'd like to see it, in the courtroom on TV though. So valid for that reason only.
Oh, okay. All right. What about you, Jenna?
Can you sue someone over an illegal act? I I mean, prostitution isn't legal there, and he's suing over that. So, and isn't that exposing him to getting charged for soliciting the prostitution, or not soliciting, whatever the...
That probably is why he's in trouble. Or that's probably why he doesn't have a lawyer.
Yes.
But do you think he could parse his lawsuit a little bit more? Like, I assume hiring a stripper to dance for you for an hour is not bad, but if she leaves halfway through, that might be suable.
You could see that happening if you had a contract for an hour, they only do half an hour, but maybe there's parts of the contract where if he does certain things inappropriately, maybe she took off because he wanted her to do the sex act.
All right. Well, anyway, Scott, I hear he doesn't have a lawyer. Do you think he should hire Elliot Spitzer?
Oh, I think that's a perfect guy for him. I mean, that guy is, he's Mr. He knows how to pay for it. I think that this lawsuit is not only valid, but I believe that it is vital to society.
Because?
You see, this man he got himself involved in something, and he honestly believed in his heart that he was going to get something and didn't get it. Now, how much really is a broken heart worth, James?
I don't know, Scott, but is this the reason why your wife won't let you go to Vegas by yourself?
Well, there's that, and, the other time when, I masqueraded as a tiger and I bit those guys at the Mirage. But,
that was you.
Yeah, it was...
How did you fit in the tiger outfit?
It was, I basically had to take a lot of combs and brushes I bought at a dollar store, put them all together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to throw this out to the group. Who's dumber? Which is dumber? Following the lawsuit or calling the cops to complain about not getting his deal?
Calling the cops. I think that was the dumbest thing he'd ever done. Clark County doesn't go.
Yeah, definitely calling the cops. That was just a stroke of genius there.
They're both incredibly stupid. I mean, if you file the lawsuit, you have it in writing, and I mean, he would be perjuring himself if he put a lie in the lawsuit. I'm guessing. I don't know the details, but yeah, calling the cops, pretty dumb.
What do you think he looks like? Throw out to the group. What do you think he looks like?
A
Handsome
moron.
man?
Looks like James.
Thinks he looks like an overweight, bald man.
He looks like a Hubert.
That's true. I was stripping and I didn't want to go through those favors because I thought they were inappropriate. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Issue 4. Is it wrong to have a lover made of rubber? Is it romantic if she's plastic? A Canadian filmmaker, David Hockey, claims goes traveling with a life-size doll, which he has named Bianca. I think there's a picture of Bianca there. Rather than with his wife. Hockey has taken Bianca on road trips across the U.S. and Canada and has visited Stonehenge and Oxford with his doll. Bianca has also gone tandem skydiving. And is it sad that a sex doll has lived a fuller life than me? Anyway, Hockey claims his wife is okay with his odd hobby since he's not likely to run off with the doll, at least not permanently. I believe we have footage of the lovely couple having fun here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it tickles. What can you say? All right.
Priceless.
That's what it is.
Priceless.
All right, let's see. James,
Ticklish silicone.
how weird is this?
How weird is it? Actually, initially it sounds super weird, super crazy weird. The more you think about it, though, it's like, you know what? That's really not that bad. I mean, think of the pros and cons. Okay, you can't have an intelligent conversation with her, but then she's not yelling at you either. You
Just hissing?
you can.
Unless you patch the leak up, right?
That's right. And you take her out for a date. It's actually a workout. She's pretty hefty. I hear she's about 90 pounds there for a doll. That's hefty, not for a woman.
Not for a woman.
No.
I think there are a lot of women who'd love to be 90 pounds. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna use this for both the ladies here. I'm gonna start with you, Jenna. Which one of these two people? Who is stranger of the two? Mr. Hockey or Mr. Hockey's wife?
At first, I thought it might even be the wife if she supposedly doesn't have a problem with it. But then again, if he's the kind of guy that does this, maybe she's happy he's going out on these vacations and getting out of the house. he's a real weird, freaky guy. I mean, he has 14 of them, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what the article
Like a
said.
whole closet full,
14.
I guess.
And we were wondering, where does he keep them in the house with 2 kids?
Hey,
Yeah.
polygamy, I don't
Wow,
know, whatever you call it.
Polygamy.
So what do you think,
Yeah, well,
Frankie?
the guy's actually
may
a
have
nutter, of
Parkinson's.
course, but, who wouldn't want to, don't you, at some time in your relationship, don't you wish you could just stuff their spouse in a closet? Well, that's the end of him.
Well, let me ask you this.
Oh,
Let me ask you
no.
this, Frankie.
Okay.
Do you think that his wife has her own arrangement?
Well, that's a very interesting other side of it, isn't it? It's totally possible. Since he's got this fetish, what is she doing?
What's the length of her arrangement?
About 10 inches.
All right, I'm going to throw this out.
They get it from the same supplier, right? They get a discount.
Well, I'll throw it out to the group. Benefits and drawbacks versus having a real-life girlfriend or wife versus a doll. I'll start with you, Scott.
These people are effing crazy. How can you possibly rationale what these people are doing? Benefits, not going to yammer my ear. Drawback, she's just going to lay there. And, you know.
Benefit is that he can use the carpool lane on his road trip.
Oh, I hate carpool lanes.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And if he decides to fly someplace, he only has to buy one ticket. He just puts her in the luggage.
I don't know. She's 90
She's
pounds.
90
huge.
pounds. She's
That would
really
go over
big.
the weight
Fold her
limit.
up and deflate her.
But
and
it
put her in
doesn't
the
say that
luggage.
she's
But
deflated.
she's made of latex.
Or
It's
just
rubber.
take-
Rubber.
Just take her apart.
I don't know, I think you're violating your civil rights there, Jim.
What do you
I don't think
own
can do
one?
that.
Do you own one? You have the particulars on how to make it work so when you travel from place to place?
See, I think the wife's got
Oh,
it
yeah,
made
there's
of all
on
she's
separate
taken as
wrist,
a
get the
dildo
leg
with
off.
her.
You know, deflator. You know what I mean? Like,
I want a redhead today. I want a blonde tomorrow. You know, it's
Well,
kind
that
of
would be a plus.
blue eyes.
Yeah. If we could change the eyes out
just start putting wigs on James. It'll be fine.
a little bit for a guy.
James, start wearing
Make
a wig.
it
so this
bigger
guy
or
can
shorter,
go up as
depending,
dolls.
and vibrating, it'd be,
Oh, wow.
Been
Take
there,
it to the
done
next
that,
step.
Scott.
I
Can't do
did.
it.
Take it to the next step with batteries.
I
Now, Scott, you used to be a sex doll when you were working your way through college during those summers on Fire Island. Do you have any further thoughts on this?
No, it worked out pretty good. I mean, you figure I didn't really have to move a whole lot, so I got to be really lethargic. Someone would just move me and move me around. Wouldn't have to do anything for myself. They kind of bathed me and cleaned me. You know what I mean? But the whole thing, the whole diaper thing was really,
Now you have to pay for it, right?
yeah.
All right. So, how many harpoons does it take to take down a dolphin? Frankie J tells us what she learned on her Hawaiian cruise and how to best cook dolphin meat after our next break. Okay. Now we're back for the fact checking. All right, Keith, tell us where we went wrong.
Again, you made a number of mistakes during the show, so it's kind of expected. Scott, when you were talking about the tax collection from the witches in Romania, although they will be paying roughly 16% of the $10 they get for each consultation, on the plus side, they will be getting health care, which puts them ahead of 16 million Americans. To Jim, Dick York, who was the first Darren on Bewitched, left the show after 5 years due to an addiction to painkillers, which he'd gotten after being injured in a movie in 1959. He had a famous panic attack during the 5th season, and the producers went out and hired Dick Sargent to come in and take over the role. After Dick joined the show, the ratings plummeted. They tried bringing in a second child, which also didn't work. Dick Sargent, to your credit, did come out as a gay man in the 1980s and was the head of the gay parade in Hollywood in 1992. On Santa Barbara, sadly, our homeless people will not be able to be lured south over the border in a vast migration led by breadcrumbs, as someone suggested, because we are building a really tall wall along the border, and homeless people are terrible at climbing.
Oh, we could catapult them over.
Stereotyping.
Ted Williams,
Stereotyping.
the homeless guy with the voice of gold, famously, helped out by Oprah's friend with the TV show, has gotten a few voiceover jobs, but still has a terrible drug addiction and likely will return to homelessness. For Jenna, prostitution is only legal in 2 counties in Nevada, And Clark County, which is where Las Vegas is not one of those two counties. So if you've been paying for prostitutes in Las Vegas during your many visits, you have been breaking the law. Back to Scott. While it is probably still possible to hire Elliot Spitzer as a lawyer because it appears he still has his license to practice law, he has said that he is currently not intending to return and use his license for the near future. He's working as a political commentator on CNN and for a number of other groups.
That's working out real well.
Lastly, for Jim's information again, Hubert Blackman, the person who filed the suit, is not a nearly bald, whipped by his wife, overweight Californian, but is instead a 22-year-old African-American college student in New York City. To Frankie on the Real Doll things, no, most people do not hope to sometimes stuff their spouse into a closet. That's just you. And to the entire panel, Bianca and the other 13 paramours of Dave Hockey, the man in Britain, is made of silicone, not rubber, and at over $10,000 each, it's very expensive silicone. And Mr. Hockey has spent at least an additional $15,000 to $20,000 on clothing and lingerie. So while he may be a geek and an idiot, he's a well-off geek and idiot.
Or one with Max.
That's all I have. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks a lot, Keith. Great job. All right, let's go. We have about a minute, I believe, for the discard pile. So these are stories that came in after this show deadline. First story, African country of Malawi is considering making breaking wind or passing gas a crime. So I'll ask James, good idea or bad idea?
I think it stinks.
It stinks? True. But yes, but regardless, good idea or bad idea?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I'm actually surprised they came out of it before Singapore did, but for that one, I don't know. What if you're walking a pet or something too? Are you responsible for their releases as well?
Yeah, blame it on the dog. That's new. Officer, I didn't break wind. My dog did.
If it works,
swear
it
to God,
works.
can't you smell the kibble, homie?
Everyone is going to get dogs now.
That's
There'll be a preponderance of animals.
Why do you think? Hey, what do you think Jim's in this country? He's a man on the run.
That's right. That's pretty much it. Okay, let's see. I think one more, and then we'll be done. Oscar Curtis study says that actresses that win the Oscar for Best Actress have a higher risk of divorce than those who are merely nominated. Buy it or don't buy it?
Buy it. They're all self-absorbed fools.
I haven't.
Some are just more self-absorbed than others, I guess.
I haven't heard anything like that.
Maybe there's pressure put on the winners that affects their marriages. Maybe they get more jobs after they win.
Okay.
Or maybe they're putting the statue in bed. Who knows?
Who knows? Sleep with the statue instead of the husband.
All right. Thanks a lot, people. We are out of time. Thank you very much for doing the show. You guys are all excellent. Thank you for the crew. Thank you, everybody. Later.
Oh, wow.
You have to buy